Hello and welcome to a Pair of Dice Lost podcasting channel. My name is Brendan and I'll be the storyteller for the evening. I do have a couple announcements up top. Firstly, this will be the last episode of Mage until we can reconvene. And boy, what a cliffhanger you guys are in store for. It's also probably my best voice work yet, so I'm really excited to hear what everyone thinks. Also, earlier this week, we finished up our Exalted retrospective on Let the Good Dice Roll. Look forward to episode 31, as we will be substantially changing the formula on how that show runs. I think you guys are going to love it. Now, without further ado, here is Mage the Ascension, Indomitable Souls, Season 1, Episode 19, Forward Towards Brightness.
Imagine if you would, my friend, those days we left behind. Fragments of a time and place still buried in my mind. If only I could cast a spell to somehow change the past. Erase a page forever from this book I have amassed.
Okay, so you all get picked up outside of probably a couple streets down. Roberto Gonzalez is not an idiot. He does not want to declare to the local bad guy where his mage buddies hang out.
I'm also gonna tell Roberto, be like, hey, Roberto, Elias, Rory.
Roberto's not.
Oh, I thought you just said. I
We're
missed
being
that.
picked up by his people.
Oh, by his people.
There's a limo sent to a couple blocks down.
Sorry, I was typing, not entirely paying
Yeah,
attention.
so there's
That's
a
my
limo
bad.
that gets sent
What I'm here for.
to a couple blocks down. It is when the door opens, the doors of the limo open on either side, and there are two twins that you recognize from your time at the drag race that are these buff young men who are in chauffeurs' outfits, and they both go to doors and open them up and go, "Ma'ams, gentlemen, your ride awaits."
What do I, like, in what aspect are they? Were they just there working on stuff? Were they just there?
They were the things that the Eastern European gentlemen snapped at, and they
Got it. Alright, noted.
they combined.
Got it.
Like a giant robot always should.
Yep, I'm gonna keep as composed as I can.
Out of character to let you know, they are from the sub-clan that is in the Sabbat, Guide to the Sabbat, Blood Brothers.
Yeah.
They have a lot of weird
Mechanics.
bullshit disciplines that only really work when they're together,
Yep.
but they are some bullshit disciplines.
They're kind of the more powerful, potentially more powerful mage equivalent of Twin Souls.
Gotcha.
They're the vampire equivalent of Twin Souls.
Yeah.
Woo!
Fuckery.
Yeah.
So once you guys get in,
I relay to Elias through our mental bond, like, who these guys are, and that they're terrifying, and we need to be careful.
so when you guys get in,
Mm-hmm.
they close the doors and then they go to the front and start driving. There are two gentlemen in the back already with you.
Yay. Do we recognize these two?
You do not.
Damn it.
The first one is a man of Middle Eastern descent. He has no hair and basically a snake tattoo on the side of his head. He is wearing sunglasses despite the fact that it is nighttime and there are like dim lights in here. And he basically, he's in a suit, but a lot of his stuff is very snake pattern.
Yay.
The other guy is a tall man, probably about 7 feet tall, maybe 7.5. He's built very much like he would be a linebacker on a football team. He is easily over 300 pounds. Probably pushing 400, if I'm being honest. A lot of that looks to be muscle. And he is in a long trench coat with what looks to be metal plates stapled, like not stapled onto
Riveted.
it, but riveted into it. And he very clearly is holding a shotgun across his lap.
Great.
The only other weird things about him is he seems to be looking all around and not really paying attention to you guys, and is kind of jerking his head in weird ways.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting something.
So the Middle Eastern gentleman looks to you all and goes, "Hello. I believe that I'm here to escort you to Mr. Brightness's estate. We are his
attaché
vetting process.
Vetting.
I was close.
What do you mean by vetting?
Yeah.
We are going to make sure that you do not carry any weapons into your meeting with Mr. Brightness." He kind of looks over to Sigmund and goes, "I'm well aware that
I'm a living weapon.
you are a living weapon. We're going to keep you under close watch. Isn't that right, Zombor?" And the guy next to him just kind of goes, "Yep, gonna keep him under close watch."
Zombor?
Zombor, Z-O-M-B-O-R.
For anyone who can't see Brendan's face, he had got them crazy eyes going.
Not just the crazy eyes, just the crazy.
Suddenly got the crazy.
So Zombor is
Suddenly
linebacker,
crazy.
dude.
Crazy linebacker, dude.
With the shotgun?
Brendan, I want to
Yep.
remind you, Arcane 4. I'm just going to kind of blend into this.
For the Middle Eastern gentleman, he actually does not pay you any attention. The other guy
Probably looks me dead in the eye a couple times.
looks you dead in the eye way more times than you're actually used to. There is something not right in his head.
His head.
He's got the crazy.
Yeah, he's got the crazy.
So Zombor's paying attention to him a lot.
Paying attention to him a lot. It's like his eyes pass over you, and you can see them kind of do that thing that some people kind of do sometimes around you, specifically because of your high arcane rating. Like, dude, you are a single point of arcane rating away from being a fucking sidereal. Like, it's kind of nuts. But, like, his
I could have
eyes...
put it at 5.
His eyes glaze over as he tries to see you, and then he realizes this is happening, and, like, immediately goes from, like, yeah, just immediately.
The crazy.
And this is not something that normally happens to you. Like, at all.
I'm sitting in a car with potentially vampires and other things, and a crazy dude with a shotgun, after just having been bitten by a vampire. Nothing about this is normal.
Welcome to Mage.
I'm glad you are aware of this.
So, they drive you, and this guy just kind of goes, "Okay, so, I'm a little bit confused. So you, pointing over at Rory. You are Rory, correct?
Yes.
This one, I assume, is Isabel.
Izzy.
Izzy, excuse me. And this one is Sigmund. I was unaware that you had this one, he's like pointing at Elias. He goes, "This one does not match our description for Miss Nightshade."
To be fair, Rory doesn't match the description for Rory either.
We also were not aware that we thought there were going to be 3 males and 2 females, not 3 females, 2 males. I'm not upset at this turn of events, but I feel like maybe we should give our... Yes. He kind of turns and looks over at his buddy, and then the other guy just kind of goes, "Yeah, don't worry. I'll let Molly know to let
Rodriguez know that he fucked up.
I mean, to be fair, Elias likes to sometimes look like a girl. Is that a problem?
He looks concerned and then offended, and he turns to his friend and goes, No, you don't have to talk to Molly. Don't worry.
I mean, is that a problem for you guys?
One second. Because he takes, the other guy is pulling out his phone, and he just kind of goes, Nope! Zombar! Don't do that. Listen. He kind of thinks for a moment. Molly doesn't have enough gas right now. Oh. Yeah, then she can't use the chainsaw.
If you're not a female, we'll make you one.
So, Elias, I apologize. This was not in our report. We like to, as I said, make sure that there aren't people who could harm Mr. Brightness meeting with Mr. Brightness.
Elias pulls out a book that he keeps in his bag.
I feel like by that logic, I'm going to be behind glass with
I'm just uncomfortably tapping a drumstick on my lap.
So, do you all have any questions about meeting with Mr. Brightness? Anything else?
Proper decorum?
What should we not discuss?
The fact that you sometimes dress like a female.
He does not like his... So right now, I would probably not bring up his... No, you wouldn't know about that. Don't worry about it. He's like thinking and thinking and thinking. He's like...
Maybe you should tell us just in case we do know about it, so we don't bring it up.
No, it's not important.
I mean, that sounds important.
No, it's obviously not. You wouldn't know about it. It's fine.
Then why even bring it up?
To begin
I'm
with.
thinking out loud.
Well, you should
It is
stop
a...
that.
He starts saying stuff in a different language. Does anyone here speak Arabic?
Nope.
Nope, I assume I
Okay.
would
No,
only
but
be
I
able
can
to
totally use mine to find out.
I assume I'd only be able to speak probably French and like some Spanish.
Okay.
So
Yeah, no, if you want to use mine
I
to
totally
find
want
out...
to.
Okay.
I
He's
sp-
basically... You can tell that it's a
I
nervous...
speak science.
So, you can tell that it's a nervous tick of his.
Okay.
That he has to actually speak his thoughts out loud.
Okay.
Roll me a retake
Yep.
to, I guess, surface thoughts, which is, I think, 1.
I believe so.
So that is going to be a difficulty of 4.
Let's say I see is 7.
Okay, so in your mind, and he does not realize that anything is going on. In your mind, you suddenly are not fluent speaking Arabic,
But I
but
can
you are
understand it.
fluent in understanding.
Yeah.
Okay, so they should not bring up the fact that he has not seen the pack priest Jacob in 2 weeks. They should not bring up the fact that they wouldn't need to know about that. They should not bring up the fact that that Mistress Vikos has been on our ass about our new tactics. They should not bring up the fact that they wouldn't know about Vikos either. They're mortals. They shouldn't bring up the... Ooh, one of them might actually know about that. Okay, and then he switches into English again. He's
And
just
I'm
like,
definitely relaying all of that to her.
all right. So, one of the things that you should definitely... That is a sore subject right now is... Mr. Brightness is...
Not a fan of the keytar.
He is not a fan of the keytar. No.
It's okay. Neither are we.
Mr. Brightness is... I'm not sure if... we have been
Joke's
briefed
on
that
you,
you
I'm
all
planning.
are supernatural in kind. We're not briefed on what kind, just that you're not vampires and you're not werewolves.
Yep.
We can confirm that.
Can confirm not vampire or mortal.
Yeah,
Basically,
can't confirm.
we know that you're wizards of some kind, but we're not sure if you're
Wow.
edge magicians or the real deal.
I just kind of shrug at him.
Gonzalez was not forthwith with that information.
I mean,
That's fair. You don't need to know everything.
it's really hard
about
to
it.
know.
It's
Do
just
you
that-
know anything about physics?
I know about the ha and ka of the soul.
Then what I do to you guys would seem like magic.
Fair. So the one thing I do not know if any of you have any dealings with the, I believe that they're called the Shadowlands. We have a clan of necromancers. I say the royal we of vampire society.
Okay.
We are very recently at war with a sect in this area of the necromancer clan. Apparently they have very heavy ties to the organized crime realm around here.
That would not surprise me.
Yes, it wouldn't surprise anyone that Clan Giovanni has ties to the fucking mafia.
What?
R.I.P. Market.
Who would ever suspected this unforeseeable?
Totally unforeseeable, no way this could ever possibly happen thing.
Okay, so yeah, if you have any dealings with any kind of undead things, we are not wanting to talk about that.
I don't
Unless
like
you're here
undead
to help.
things. I don't like undead things.
Yeah,
Fair.
I can safely say I don't think any of us have anything to do with undead things.
Fair. Anything else? Anything else? No, nothing that you would know about. So, by the way, my name is David. That is the name that
I'm cringing for another reason.
because of how I pronounce that.
Yes, because unfortunately, I have seen Queen of the Damned,
Yep.
and it's how Marius says, well, practically how he says David when he meets that character.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yep.
Yep.
I wasn't even fucking thinking about that.
He
Which
says
is also
David.
another movie that has a lot of
Hello,
snake
David.
motifs.
Yeah.
David. It's like, don't you say that again. But it's just the way you said it just immediately made me think of that scene. I'm like, cringe.
Lily's sitting there reading a book. Hello, David.
So he once it parks once the limo parks. If you guys have no other questions for Mr.
Yep.
Zombor and Mr. David,
I'm out.
um,
I'm out before anybody recognizes I'm
the
out.
two guys get out of the car, open it up, and there is a large office building nearby. Zombor just kind of looks over and goes, 6th floor. Third door from the right. And don't go to any other floors. If you do, you might get in trouble with the other people who are renting those offices.
Because of that voice, I just imagined him as like an adult Beavis.
Kinda.
So 6th floor, 3rd door to the right.
Yep.
I have eidetic memory, so like.
If you don't remember it, I will.
Enjoy your time with the boss, and
Enjoy your stay.
Appreciate
make sure you don't piss him off. I don't want to have to come in there with the shotgun. Also,
Appreciate the lift.
welcome.
Good.
And then the doors close, and they drive off to go do whatever else their business is.
Mhm.
You hear them yelling something about getting Molly and her chainsaw. And maybe going to go do the zoo prank again.
Bye.
You go to the elevator. I assume that you guys hit the sixth floor button.
1,
I press the button.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna hit all of the buttons.
Just gonna stand in the back of the elevator.
Yeah, no, nothing happens.
Oh, I thought you were going to work in a David Pumpkins reference.
Now I almost have to, but I can't now because you called me out on it.
Ruin the surprise, Jake.
I'm surprised.
No, I hit just the
Man.
6th button.
Now I just want to run like a Super Dungeon David Pumpkins D&D game.
Oh, Jesus.
Just add that to your list.
I knew.
It'll be a level 20 only game
That's
where
a
you
good
have to
idea.
fight David Pumpkins.
Over and over again.
Okay, so the group goes up to floor 6, and then you guys...
After pressing all the buttons on the
After
elevator.
pressing all the buttons. So you open up, and there is a chainsaw lady, then there is David Pumpkins, and there's Tom Hanks.
There's
Not
David
dressed
Bowie.
as David Pumpkins. There's David Bowie hidden in a cryo coffin.
Yep.
Then there's Walt Disney in a cryo coffin.
With a weird mute-looking Mickey Mouse getting mad at you.
Then there's David Pumpkins. And then there's floor 6. So floor 6,
just generic fluorescent light hallway, manila walls, just very generic shit is going on here.
Third door to the right.
Third door to the right.
Yep. Let's explore.
You guys walk down, go to the third door
I
to
am
the
not
right.
the first one to open the door.
Who opens the door?
I'll open it.
No, no.
Oh, you are.
I'm gonna put Elias in front of the
Why?
door.
I'll open it. I'm opening the door.
This is your fault.
I'm opening the door.
This
Okay.
is not my fault.
Izzy opens up the door,
Everything's your fault.
and you
Okay.
are greeted by what is definitely not a fucking office. This
I would
is.
hope the office wasn't greeting me.
Hi,
I
welcome
hope I
inside.
hope it's
Room-
not a fucking office.
The room inside looks more like the foyer to a castle.
Great.
The rugs are completely different.
Spooky.
There are what looks to be not sculpture, but like fake fake like columns and stuff that kind of go
Are
up
we in
to-
a different time zone now?
You are not in a different time zone, but it definitely feels like it.
So it just basically looks like a medieval castle.
It looks like a
style.
medieval castle. It looks like you randomly stepped into Castlevania.
Well, that's
a
why it's like
vampire's castle.
I'm just making sure this isn't some correspondence bullshit. We're halfway
Right.
across the world, and suddenly I'm in a different time zone.
Man, I'm tired all of them, right?
It's like jet lag kicked in. Damn.
Every time.
You don't know.
With
Can
time
I
3,
tell?
and I don't know. That's concerning.
I would be able to tell about
I was gonna
correspondence,
say-
wouldn't I?
Time 1, I think, lets you know, like, the time.
Yeah.
What time is it?
Okay.
Time for you to watch.
I'm pretty sure.
Roll me your Arite. Difficulty 3.
I mean, I don't think I have any good to tell me what time it is, so.
I have time 1 and a wristwatch.
Oh, yeah, I do have
I have a
Correspondence.
wristwatch.
3 successes.
Okay.
Through correspondence, 3 successes.
3 successes with time.
Okay.
Time magic.
Here's what I'm going to tell you guys.
Yep.
When you guys walk in, it is not that.
Okay.
When you guys
I know
close
things
the
too.
door behind you, immediately, like, time sense goes off and correspondence sense goes off. You are definitely not in Massachusetts anymore.
Yeah, I rolled a 5, a 7, and a 9.
Toto,
so.
we're not in Kansas anymore.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, you meant Toto, as in like Dorothy's, not the band.
Is there anything on this table I can throw at him? Anything?
How much better would that be? Toto,
If you want to discus some chips, yeah.
Dance to the band, Toto.
With correspondence in time, so I think literally all of us can tell that except for you, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. All of us, our spider senses just go off, and we're like,
We're not in Kansas anymore.
we were in
We
We
Massachusetts.
were in Massachusetts!
What part of the country were you living in?
Wait, we were in Kansas? I thought
So
we
as
were in
soon as the
Massachusetts
door
the whole
closes,
time.
the castle and its pillars and everything look way more real. It's almost like you were looking at it like it was
A painting.
not a painting, like it was a okay set on a stage play, and then suddenly it
was
got real.
Yeah.
Shit just got real, guys.
Well, my hand
You
immediately
see-
reaches out and grabs the person nearest me, goes, guys!
I look pretty calm and composed. I was expecting bullshit.
Shakes the hand
Takes
up.
the hand up, takes it off.
There's a man that in front of you. There are stairs that kind of split up go upwards and then split into
Yeah.
the way that most mansion stairs would.
Castle Dracula.
You guys know it's Castlevania.
Oh, excuse the fuck out of me.
And coming down-
Castlevania.
Somebody get me a whip. I can handle this shit real quick.
You are not
Dun,
Belmont.
Nerds!
Shut up! I played those games. All of them.
Somewhere in the background, Bloody Tears starts playing.
Right?
I'm not playing Dracula X. Fuck off.
Yeah.
So anyway, so this castle, there is a pale man with very almost alien-looking features.
Just gonna scoot closer to
coming
Sigmund.
down. He has very thin, almost perfectly pointed jawline. He
I gotta
is
stop eating it.
about 6'3" or so, very thin, and he is walking with a cane.
He don't need
His
cocaine.
his limbs move in weird alien ways as if there are multiple joints within them, but it's almost like a beautiful dance. The best way that I can describe it is he has his arms are twice the length of normal arms, as are his legs. His torso is shorter than normal, as if he had taken out his entire abdomen. Not abdomen, his entire like stomach area. It's just like a chest, the rib cage on top of a hip bone.
Did you ever play Warframe?
Yes,
God, what are they called?
I know what you're
The
thinking.
ones that made
There's
the
a-
Tenno.
There's a cryptid that kind of sounds like
It's the
that
one that
too.
has the just like giant arm
Yeah.
that you deal with.
So
That's what I'm thinking.
So one of the things about him is that his when his knees bend, they bend twice, as with his arms, because they are extraordinarily long. Basically, he is double jointed in the fact that he has 2 joints in each limb.
Gross.
You said knees and elbows?
Yes.
And toes. Knees and toes.
He walks with a cane, and he comes down to the middle part of the staircase, basically standing above you all, and he raises his arms in a grand gesture.
Awkward.
Orokin.
Orokin, that's what it is.
It's like, duh.
Hello and welcome to my castle.
So glad you didn't go the other way that you could go with that.
Was it pleasure room?
No, the
The accent?
accent and how he says it. Welcome to my home.
That's actually a better thing, but I'm not going to do that.
It's the Bram Stoker's Dracula
Yeah.
greeting.
Oh yeah, that was with Gary Oldman.
Yep.
Blah, 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 blah.
I love Gary Oldman.
I do, but
I
that
hope
wasn't my
that the
favorite.
day is
It wasn't my
finding
favorite.
you
It was
well.
good-ish.
I am Mr. Brightness.
Just
It
blending
is
into the
a
back of the group.
pleasure to meet you all. He's talking very slowly, like I am.
Yep.
You have requested a audience with me after talking with my consultant in the Camarilla. How may I assist you?
As far as everybody else knows, I'm not here.
He does not do anything about your little tricks. And if you guys just kind of stay quiet for a moment.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember what we need to ask him is the problem.
Ah, hello, madam. He
Yes.
walks looking towards you. I remember you from the street race.
I remember you as well.
I would not forget such a colorful aura.
Uh-oh.
Samici have aspects. I know they do.
Shit.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Rory wouldn't know about it. so-
Yeah, I know, but I'm giving you the out of character. Like
Yeah.
She also vicissitude himself.
he did also vicissitude himself.
Hence
He did
the
not look like this back
missing
in.
that, the
Oh, yeah.
long arms.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to remember, Rory doesn't know a lot about the Empires.
I
Christina
know.
knows a fuck ton about
I
the
know,
Empires.
I know that. I know.
This is also for their sake.
I know.
Yeah, this is also for people who may not be familiar with how
How everything works.
different World of Darkness systems interact with each
With
other.
how do?
Like great. Actually, I feel like it's actually very
I
helpful.
am
for Ray.
literally like out of character trying to remember what we needed to ask him.
What questions do you have for me?
So we heard about forgive my, and you see Rory's very like composed compared to how she usually is.
Mhm.
We had heard, if I'm using the term correctly, a shovel party.
Shovel parties. Yes, I am very well aware of shovel parties. It is a tactic of my, I would not say tradition, my affiliation. Basically, we enlist new members forcibly usually from the dregs of society, nothing that is lost. And we bury them after they have been drained fully of blood. And then we, as a pack, myself, my pack priest Jacob, my pack enforcer David, and all of their underlings, drain our blood over the graves, and then the new recruits, that's the word, wake up, and they go into a rage. And the ones that survive, that do not succumb to just base instinct, then we recruit, we do the rituals and everything that has not been able to happen since Jacob's... Since our pack priest has not been around.
Did you say forcibly?
Well, forcibly is... We ask them at parties, do you want to be a part of something greater? And if they say yes, we help them out.
Okay, out of character, I just want to know, is Jacob the name of the guy we captured?
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
That was John Smith.
Johnson, okay.
Jacob is a name that someone else in your party does know about because they met with Jacob in the little boy's room.
Yep. Yeah, that's why, like, every time he's saying Jacob, I'm like, fucking Elias.
Like I said, we're here because it's his fault.
Hey,
So,
stop it.
and he kind of, he snaps while you all are thinking about questions, and a servant comes out with a decanter of blood, pours it for him, and he just kind of...
The casual, like, sip and swirl.
He sees
Elias's physical reaction.
Did you want some? This is... I'm not sure that the taste will
Sit with your palate.
satisfy you.
No, I'm good. Just kind of reaches into his pocket.
He... This is gonna look great. This is gonna look very weird, and I'll describe it in a second. But he basically does this to you. He gives his profile and goes.
So for those of you that can't see this, he goes and brings the cup to his lips, and as he tilts it as if he's going to drink from it, his tongue comes out and laps at it a couple times,
Like
doing
a dog.
that directly towards Elias so he can see what he's doing.
Scrape and lick.
It's a very tempting
Suggestive.
thing. It's a very suggestive motion.
I'm dying.
I can fix that.
So,
Now you're just dead.
Our healer is dying. That's
what
great.
else do you have to ask of me? You, big buff man. Do you have any questions for me?
Big buff man.
I'm just along for the ride, more or less.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
That's why I've gone to the, how you say, owner of the theme park and said, I want infinite rides on the front of this roller coaster.
Are you referring? Are you referring to us as a roller coaster?
No,
Life.
no. I mean, life. Life itself.
Life is a roller coaster.
Oh, immortality joke.
Immortality joke, yes. I like to have jokes from time to time. It helps to dull
Damn it.
the seriousness of
Sorry, I didn't hear what you
everything else.
Jacob's a roller coaster.
said. Oh.
Jacob is not the one.
I mean, for Elias, he is.
I'm not going there.
You have to remember, Rory's had like all these dreams and shit like rattling
All
around
right,
in her
then.
head too. So
Yeah.
Rory. I assume that is a Rory.
yes.
Do you have questions for me?
I just want to say before you answer that.
Yes, Elias.
No. This is between the two
Oh,
twin souls.
twin powers.
Twin powers.
Rory is getting a lot of blushing and
I imagine I'm so used to
anxiety
your
and
your
all
reactions
kinds of
at
that.
this point
Every
that
single
it-
time he says Jacob.
Yeah, I I'm so used to you doing this bullshit that doesn't show on my face, but in
Yeah.
the back of my head, I'm like, try and chill it out a little bit. Try and chill it out a little bit.
Take a
Oh,
goddamn cold shower, Jesus.
Well, no, because every time he says Jacob, I am reliving that moment.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
sure I
Maury,
can
what
flash
do you have in
those.
stealth?
Can we rename him Jack? Just for personal reasons.
No,
Only if it's
Jacob's,
Jack Harkness.
Jacob's his kid.
Okay.
And
Sorry, not Jake. Maury, what do you have in stealth?
I'm looking.
It's under
Nothing.
Okay, cool. Roll me your manipulation.
This is not my manipulation character!
This is
Difficulty
I'm-
9.
This is not my stealth or manipulation character either. This is my intelligence character.
I'm just over here like
Roll it.
there
half
anything
hiding
else?
behind Sigmund, just like
You
this
can-
is
I'm having you
uncomfortable.
roll this to hide your
Sigmund isn't
reaction.
entirely sure why he's here.
Did you hear what my difficulty was? Nothing? Okay. We'll get to you. He kind of...
Can you give me one of my buttons, please?
Once he says Jacob a third time, he sees your reaction. And you can tell for a moment he locks eyes with you, and then he goes right back to... Like, it's basically a...
I got quick, like, I see you.
It's a quick, like, almost like something caught his eye, but
Yeah.
you can tell he locked eyes with you,
Yeah.
and he goes right back to
And
Rory.
Rory's getting oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit!
Like I said, I'm used to this shit by now. I'm the good one in the Twin Souls.
Are you...
That's not saying a lot.
So,
That's not a high bar.
It's not.
I recognize this aura from when you were at the drag race.
Yes.
Did you enjoy our drag race, our show,
It was
our
very.
bonfire?
It was very interesting.
Bonfire?
I think I can safely say that I've never seen anything like that before.
Yes, I watched you use a knife to kill a recently turned vampire. Very, very interesting. It's almost like you hit it with sunlight itself.
He
Very...
came after me. It was self-defense.
Listen, I'm not... Listen, a newly turned soldier of our covenant, our tradition, whatever the fuck you want, whatever the fuck our elders call it.
Covenant is fine, if that's what you prefer.
Yes, it sounds very traditional here. A recently turned soldier of our covenant who cannot survive a single attack
Yeah.
from a mortal, let alone someone who might actually be their equal in power, is not worthy of the name of initiate, or of the title. Sorry, I misspoke. Of the initiate title of Sabbat. They are not worthy of our ranks. So I thank you for thinning the ranks of the unworthy.
You're welcome, I suppose.
I would drink to that.
I did. I don't. You might recognize the name, I would assume, because you seem to have a pretty fair knowledge of a lot of goings on.
Yes, I do. I've been alive a very long time.
She's just kind of nodding, like, okay. The name, what was it? Victor Montour, I believe?
Oh, Victor. He's the prince of, where am I heading? Kansas, Los Angeles, Seattle, Vancouver, Salem. Prince of Salem.
Oh, okay.
He is a very confident man to believe that his everything is protected, but he does not understand just how deep his seneschals, I believe that's the term,
Maybe? I wouldn't know.
his seconds.
Okay.
Seneschal is a, I believe it's an Italian term?
Italian's
might-
not my forte. So
I might be wrong here, but Seneschal is basically the second to the prince. They're your...
Okay.
It's bothering me now. I have to look that up.
Yeah, right. That's
It's
literally
not
what I'm doing
Italian,
right now.
but yes, you are correct that they are basically the seconds.
What word? What name is? What language?
Medieval Latin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the
as well
Latin.
as Old French.
Yeah, that's why I know it as Rory. It's
Okay.
French.
Okay, yeah. So then you know that the seneschal of the city
Okay.
is looking to usurp him in some way.
Oh.
She is of the what is the word? What do you call yourselves in your language, in your tongue?
You'd have to be a little
More specific.
Gonzalez has explained to me, but I know that you all are in his native tongue. You all are Bruja. I am not very good
Well,
with the English.
Bruja is witch.
Yes, you are witch. You all are witches.
I take exception to that.
Warlocks? I'm not sure what the
can still
English
be a
word for
witch.
this is.
Bruja will work, I guess.
Wizards.
That I
I come from Ireland.
No.
I'll take that one.
No, wizards. So you all are witches and wise men.
Yeah,
I feel like witches is not the right word for you.
I come from Ireland. I'll take that one.
I mean, witch is a.
His seneschal
non-gendered
is
term.
a witch.
okay.
She is looking into.
She's like the witch equivalent for vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would be a Tremere.
Yeah.
That would be a trigger.
Okay, we don't know that.
No, but for the sake of notes, it's just.
Yeah.
I have a
Wait,
question.
does that
for
mean
you all.
she can conjure fire, among other things?
Yes.
Yeah.
Among other things,
Yeah.
Wonderful.
you were fire. Yeah.
Well, I was doing this as in just thinking, not actually conjuring. So I was asking him as in fire.
Yes, I have known the wizard clan, the witch wizard clan, to conjure fire before.
The Seneschal's group.
Yes.
Huh.
My question to you all
Mm-hmm.
is this. Why is... I mean, I figure this is a good time to do this. This is a nice exchange of information between two supernatural groups. You have asked me a question,
Okay.
so I want to ask you all a question.
I have etiquette,
I
so
mean-
it only makes sense.
We can answer it
This
if we can
one.
answer
Don't
it.
He points at Tavis.
That's right.
Why do I have trouble...
Prevent him from knocking things over? I can't tell. Maybe you're just too
My
old.
my servants come the tail of my wine glass has fallen off. What the fuck is this? Out of character. My fucking coaster like
Stuck to the glass and then fell off.
came up with my whiskey glass and then fucking fell off.
No, I mean we can.
He just yells at his servant. The servant comes down, picks it
If
up.
we can answer it, we'll try to do our
I
best.
want
No,
to
the
know-
answer is shoddy craftsmanship.
Let him finish.
My question for this one, he points at Tavis. Why, without the use of my undead powers, do I have trouble keeping my eyes on you?
When you were growing up, did you have mentors, teachers, etc.?
I had multiple mentors that taught me in many trades.
When you were going back that far, mortal,
Yes.
you ever get to the point where they just kind of drone on to the point at which you just kind of forget they're there?
Never. I was a very studious member of the Brotovich line.
I hate you.
Well,
That means that fucker has potence.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, maybe we could teach a few things to my students. Dear Lord.
Fucking wine stems.
It's a kink. Shit. What's the best way I can put this? It is an inherent thing about me that I can't accurately describe.
Fair enough. I understand this as you are
Bored.
using the... No, not bored. You are using the... You are innately, through your mortal mind, using the Malkavian... He stops.
I'll never forget that one.
He just goes forward. Fuck it. I've already said the word. The Malkavian discipline of obfuscation.
I love that word.
I wouldn't know what the hell that is, so I wouldn't know how I'm doing
You
that.
are unconsciously tapping into some power that your bloodline is derived from that allows you to blend in with the crowd, with the shadows. The shadows that my best friend in the world, Jacob, controls.
Interesting.
Did you know that
I'm sorry, I can't help with Maury's
he's
face.
turning towards everyone except for Maury. He's like, did you know that my best friend Jacob was ironically turned on the same day, in the same hour as me, in the same year?
That's interesting.
A very interesting thing that happened when Jacob turned, and he's literally like doing it
Just to
Very poignantly.
very poignantly is saying the words Jacob every single time to kind of get a reaction, I would say,
Definitely.
out of Elias
And Elias is
hiding
His nose?
himself
in a book.
in a book. And then he
pulls out
finally,
book. Elias scratches at the F. Expelled.
so he finally turns to Izzy. Says, you, young lady, young woman of the... He, like, motions for a servant to come out. He flips through a book. The punk movement. That is the word of your musical silence, correct?
Yeah.
I have had a few children, well, grandchilders. They're much removed from me, but they enjoy your anti-establishment notions. And I can, in some way, as the establishment, disagree with them because I am much more powerful than them. But coming from someone who has a covenant that is built upon the foundation of rebellion, understand the base emotions. Do you have questions for me? Actually, no, I'm sorry. I have transgressed my guest rights. I asked a question of you all. Now it is your turn to ask a question of me.
Would you like a signed copy of one of my CDs?
I do not enjoy music that involves guitars.
I don't have guitars in my music.
That is not what my men say.
He's been with you the whole time.
I've been with you the whole time. You just never use it. Why would you listen to your own music, Britt?
To know if it sounds good!
But there's so many guitars now. I'm just joking.
It's just her band is nothing but guitars except her.
No, he just says, I appreciate it, but I would like your group to ask me questions.
Actual questions.
Actual questions, not would you like a signed copy of my CD? Because that
For your
is technically
great
that is
grandchildren.
that is technically a question.
Out of curiosity, though I don't believe it's something you can answer or will answer. You already name dropped, if you will, one group. The witches, if you will. It's an intriguing thought, And to know what they are called, aside from just calling them vampire witches, which is a little insulting, I think. Do you have a better thing that we can call them? Whether it be the name or otherwise.
He laughs. Yes, they have a name that you can call them. And you should ask someone in your... If you are of the... what is the word? What is the word that I'm looking for? Ask someone of the... Do you know of Greek gods?
Yes.
In passing,
For the most part.
do you know of the Greek god Hermes? Trismegistus, I think is
Trismegistus.
Trismegistus.
Hate myself for knowing that.
I like you for knowing that because I have never known how to pronounce that.
2 reasons. 1, Greek mythology is one of my favorites to go over. And 2, play Assassin's Creed Odyssey. They say it every time they talk
Yes.
about Hermes, or the staff of Hermes.
Okay.
They say it's full. The staff of Hermes, Trismegistus. Shut up!
It's like, stop saying the word. We know what it means. We
There
don't
you go,
care anymore.
Trismegistus.
So he mentions
You blocked it.
Trismegistus,
Maybe.
and he just goes, our tradition, our wizards are from there. They call themselves the Tremere, from House Tremere. If you want someone who, if you want to mention this to an Trismegistus mage, you may get a very violent reaction.
Yep.
Alright,
Yo, I got beef. Why did these fuckers attack me?
I
Oh, wait.
now have a question for you all. Why does this one, he points over at Elias, despite Elias's
Like
attempts to
shrugging down.
shrink, despite Elias's attempts to shrink behind the book, and Maury's literal attempts to shrink behind Brit.
Which,
I mean, Maury's already small. So trying to shrink behind Brit is kind
but
of
I'm also small.
which is kind of impressive.
I am also a small.
Why does this one look red in the face whenever I mention the name of Jacob Alexander Rive, the La Sombra priest of my Sabbat pack?
Oh, that makes so much sense now.
Uh-huh.
Like, out of character, it makes so much
Uh-huh.
sense.
Yeah.
Fucking Jacob and Artie. Fuck these people. Anyways,
Mr. Elias, I have answered a question to your pack.
Yep.
I would enjoy an answer to myself. What do you know of my pack priest, Jacob?
I may have had a vision with him in it.
What time was your vision in him with?
Jacob Alexander, what was it? I froze.
Jacob Alexander Rive, as in W-R-I-T-H-E.
I could be G, like Writhe and Agony.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Like Maury is currently doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not writhing in agony.
Agony.
There was no agony there.
Agony! Oh, then there was a stand battle.
Yeah.
No.
God.
God.
Kill me now.
Into the woods.
Agony.
Yeah, no. Jake was talking about. Jake showed me Into the Woods one day when we were living
Yep.
together, and they were just singing each other.
Yep.
And Jake was like, "Hey, what would happen if you thought about it that when they were singing and like yelling and like singing at each other, there was actually a stand battle going on in the
So
background?"
imagine, like, he's, like, pushing Elias and you and I are talking up to the side about the foot.
No, I think
Elias,
this is the
Yeah.
point where every one of
please,
us
I would
just
like you
looks
to
at
answer
him.
my question.
Yep.
How do you know
Looks at
Jacob?
him.
Well, like I said, I had a vision with
Yes.
him in it a little while ago.
Yes. How long ago?
When was the meeting with the werewolves?
2 weeks ago.
Thank you. It's 2 weeks ago.
Well, how very interesting. You see that in 2 weeks ago, Jacob became incapacitated to us as he inflicted upon himself somehow a self-form of torpor and has not awoken. So I'm very interested to know how you spoke to him. He has been in the castle here in Transylvania.
That would explain the time difference.
Yep.
And I
can
say
already
that.
feel the
That's
jet
when I
lag.
say that out loud. It's like that would explain the time difference.
I can feel the jet lag already.
Hey, Rory.
Are you talking to my head or out loud?
Nope, I'm out loud. Hey, Rory.
Yeah?
I think I need to go see this person.
I mean, that would be up
That-
to Mr. Brightness if we would be allowed to go
Okay.
see his friends.
Hi guys, Brendan here. Boy, what an episode, am I right? Show of hands who saw that weird shit coming. I know it's a bit of a rough spot to leave the game off in, and I would have loved to wrap it up, but quarantine has kind of screwed me over. Hopefully restrictions get lifted soon and we can finish out this campaign. But at least I have something hyped to live up to when we do come back. To make sure we can come back, I do have to get some legalese out of the way. Our theme song is Images by Lost European. Other music in this episode was provided by David Hillowitz and Midair Machine. If you want to be updated on what we're doing throughout the week, follow us on Twitter at apairofdicelost. Questions that we can answer on our other podcast, Let the Good Dice Roll, can be sent to apairofdicelost@gmail.com. Finally, sharing our stuff on Twitter, Facebook, or other social medias is a great way to get the word out about what we're doing. We're just a humble tabletop podcast begging at the scrap bowl of your retweets and likes. So please, sir, I'd like some more validation, please. With that out of the way, one last time till we can reconvene, you gotta do money to make money.
Imagine if you were my friend, those days we left behind. Fragments of a time and place still buried in my mind. If only I could cast a spell to somehow change the past. Erase a page forever from this book I have